Hey guys, TechGirl88 here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Winbook TW100 Windows 8 tablet. So as you can see here, I've got the box that the tablet came in. It comes with an Intel Bay Trail processor, 32 gigabytes of storage, 2 gigabytes of RAM, quad-core processor, as I said, the Intel. And one of the best features I think that it comes with is you get Office 365 free for an entire year. So that alone is worth about $80. You've also got cameras, which we'll talk about in the review, an HDMI out slot, rather port. You've got Bluetooth and wireless N, and a display, 10.1 inch display that is 1280 by 800. So now we'll go ahead and show you the actual tablet. So as you can see here, you can see a lot of glare off the screen. That's because the screen is very bright, and obviously not the best display, but this is a $200 tablet, so you know, you kind of get what you pay for. It's not very noticeable when you're actually looking at the tablet dead on, but you can see that this is an angle, so you can kind of see everything else reflecting off of it. So right here we've got a port that hooks into the optional keyboard that you can get for, I think it's $50. I didn't get it, but that's only because I already have a Bluetooth keyboard. So as you can see here, we've got the power button, which I found to actually be pretty solid considering the price point of this tablet. And we've also got the volume up and volume down. Here's where we get to all the good stuff. We've got a USB 3.0 port, which is very impressive. You're not going to find that in very many tablets, especially not at this point, this price point. We've also got the HDMI out. I believe this is a micro HDMI. And then we've also got the charging port, which is a micro USB. You've got a micro SD card right here, slot. I've got one plugged in. And I've got a headphone port right here. Now, one thing I want to say about this micro SD card is the tablet's pretty good at recognizing it, but I have found it's very, because of where it is and how, you know, you might typically hold this tablet, it's very easy to accidentally press it and then, you know, kind of push it out of there. So that's kind of annoying. But overall, this is a very solid feeling tablet. We'll go ahead and look at the back of it. It's got a rubber back. The I think it's 2.0 megapixel camera, which isn't really honestly anything to write home about, but if you're taking pictures with your tablet, there's something wrong there, because you should really be using your phone or a regular camera. Just in my opinion. I never take pictures with my tablets. The Winbook logo, which I've been told by others that this rubs off real easily. I haven't used it enough to really notice it. And then, of course, the little Intel badge and the speakers, which are on the back. And that's about it for the actual hardware of the tablet. So we'll go ahead and turn this on and use it. And let's see here. So here is the actual tablet. And there's a lot of glare here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my lamp over here and kind of help it so you can see it a little bit better. Alrighty, here we go. So one thing you're going to see right now is that the screen flickers, and this is because of the IPS display that this tablet has. It is not as noticeable when you're actually looking at it with the naked eye, but you can obviously see it when you're taking pictures of the tablet, or you're taking video of it, as I am here. Now, one thing I will say is when I originally got this tablet, the very first one I got had a very noticeable to the naked eye flicker problem, and so that kind of prompted me to return it and get a better one. that actually didn't have that problem. This one doesn't to the naked eye, but obviously you can see it here. Okay, so it's a standard Windows 8 tablet. You can see I've got a picture and all that there. And I'm just gonna take this off screen and type in my password, because this is actually hooked up to Microsoft Online. So, here we go. And you can see it's got a very nice bright display. So, you can see I've got my Evernote application open and I'm kind of using it. You can see it's very bright right now, so I'm going to try turning down the brightness on this. First I'm going to go back. I'm going to flick from the side. And here's where the brightness is. You can turn that down, you can turn that up. I think it's quite bright, as you can see. I'm just going to turn it right here because that looks like it's good. So, standard Windows 8 tablet, you've got your start screen where you can kind of pin all of your apps. So, as you can see, I've got Skype, I've got the standard mail app synced up with my email, which worked fine. I've got a calendar app right here. Photos, which I never use, might as well unpin that. Weather. Evernote Touch, which is where I kind of synchronize all of my notes. Splashtop, which is a fantastic remote desktop program. I love it because it works with my Mac, it works with my Windows machines, works on my iPhone, my iPad, Galaxy phone, and it also works well with this. Internet Explorer and Chrome. Internet Explorer on here is actually pretty good, but because I use Chrome so much on my other devices and have it synchronized, I prefer to use Chrome. ESPN app, Dropbox, Google, just a standard Google app where I can search and all that stuff. I've not even really used it on this so far. Yep. Okay. So yeah, standard. Let's see here. And Netflix. Netflix works really well with this. And then got the standard Microsoft apps. Games, video, store, OneDrive, maps, camera. And as I said, the camera is nothing to write home about. It is very, very grainy. I mean, I guess it'll suffice if you need it, but, you know, it's grainy, but that is a standard thing you're going to find, especially at this price point, but with a lot of tablets. The camera is not in any way as good as a phone camera. Alright, so back to the start screen. As you can see that flickering. Again, not visible to the naked eye. I just can't say that enough because it is very annoying, and it'll kind of remind you of the older monitors. Like, I haven't seen flicker like this since I used the older, you know, tube style monitors 10 years ago. But one of the best things about this tablet is the fact that it can easily switch to a computer when you need it to be. You can see that we've got our standard Windows 8 desktop environment. You can install just about any program on here and it'll work fine. You know, if you're into web design and web development like I am, something like Notepad++ is very essential. You know, something like the VLC media player is great for playing DVDs, and I have, one of the things that I really loved about this tablet is I was able to easily hook it up to my HD TV, and I was easily able to play a Blu-ray quality HD DVD file on here, and there was no hiccups. no problems at all. It looks great. So that was one of my favorite things about using this tablet so far. Now, I will show you, and this is another problem that I've kind of noticed. Sometimes the micro SD card stops being recognized by the computer. And I don't know if this is maybe a problem with the micro SD card I have, because it is a Microcenter one. I don't honestly have much experience with those, but it just stopped showing up here. But I've noticed when you plug it back in, it's recognized again. So again, I don't know if that's the card or if that's the micro SD slot on this computer that's a problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. One thing you will notice is after Windows is installed, you end up with about 24 gigabytes of free space. I've obviously used about half of that. So that's actually pretty good, because a lot of computers will take up, a lot of tablets will take up a lot more space than that for the operating system, but this one's pretty good for that. There's also a tool you can download that'll free up an extra 2 or 3 gigabytes of space. And then we've got the micro SD card that's installed. I've only got a 32 gigabyte one installed in there, but I've heard you can go all the way up to 128 gigabytes with this particular tablet, even though Microcenter themselves only say it supports up to 64 gigabytes. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Websites on this thing load pretty quickly. I'll just open a new window. Browsing is a pretty good experience on here. And you can always put, Google Chrome in Windows 8 mode, and it ends up being full screen if you kind of want a little bit more space or get tired of having this taskbar down here. But you can see that this loads pretty well. It's a little bit of a stutter, but that might be more to do with the website than it is the tablet itself. Loads pretty well. One thing I think this tablet is really going to be great for is students who want to take notes from wherever. Notes in classes. Could be high school, could be college, graduate school, whatever. This tablet's only $200, so this is a very attractive option for students who don't have a lot of money to spend on a computer. So with that in mind, I wanted to kind of show how well this tablet works with taking notes by hand. And by hand I mean by using a stylus. Obviously, using your fingers. It's not going to be as responsive because this tablet only has a, I believe it's a 5-touch response, which is a little bit different than other tablets that might have 10 touch or more. But it's still very responsive. I think even for big hands, it's very responsive. Mine are smaller, but it's still pretty acceptable in terms of the quality of the touch. So I will dig out my stylus and show you how well it works with that. Alright, so I've got the bamboo stylus right here. It's kind of a little dark. It sells for about $20. I got it for my iPad, but I've been actually using it quite a bit with this tablet. So it works pretty well. You can hear a little bit of a noise, and that's because I have a makeshift screen protector on this tablet. It's basically just the screen protector that came with the tablet. And it works pretty well. I had to make a little cut on it to take the little tab off that was right up here, but it works pretty well. So we'll go ahead and go ahead and open. I should be able to open OneNote. Unless I don't have that installed in here. I think I do. Yep, here we go. Alright, so OneNote is one of the programs you get with the free year of Office 365. And so it's a neat little program. I used it a lot in college. I don't really use it too much anymore. It's kind of like Evernote. You can take notes and they're all synchronized online. And you can also, I believe, do drawings. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can open. Here we go. So I'm going to see if I can open that. Oops. So, alright. Gonna need to open a new note, obviously. Alright, so you can see. So, let's just see. You can see it's not really working well, and this might actually be because of this screen protector I have on here. As you can see, when I go like that, it's a lot more responsive than using the Stylus. But it also depends on you see here how much pressure you're putting on it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the screen protector so I can give you guys a better idea of how well this does. Here we go. There goes the screen protector. And let's see if this works any better. Yeah. It works a lot better without that screen protector on. So as you can see, you could easily use this for notes. Obviously it's not going to be quite as good as an iPad, but it's going to be acceptable. And that I think is very important for students that are looking for a relatively cheap option. This is a great alternative to a Surface Pro, obviously not as good, but a heck of a lot cheaper. And when you pair it with a Bluetooth keyboard, as I'll be reviewing in another video, it works very, very well. So, overall, I would say this is a really, really attractive choice. It's only $200. You can get it at the Microcenter. There's Microcenters in pretty much all of the states, as far as I know. Sometimes multiple Microcenters. And, like I said, only $200. For what you're getting, it's an outstanding deal. I've had my Winbook for about 3 weeks now, and I really honestly love it. It works great. It's a great mobile computer. Battery life is pretty decent. It'll last you 5, 6, 7 hours depending on use. So yeah, I would say overall, if you're looking for an expensive Windows 8 tablet, it's a great deal. You get Office 365 for free for a year, which that alone saves you $80. So yeah, I would highly recommend this tablet. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I will see you in my next video.